Iranian Pastor Ara Torosian, my friend, help us make sense of what is happening in your homeland from a biblical perspective.
Yeah, thank you, Reg, for interviewing me again. And this is like a crazy days for us. And as a pastor, we kind of our church celebrate what's happened in Iran, that Ayatollah Khamenei got killed. And I just want to say, lots of people got mistakes that we celebrate that. No, we don't celebrate that. Actually, what's happened, it was hope for us as a human, as our dignity, that for decades we been in oppressed and dictatorship and live in a censorship. There was no freedom for us, like basic human freedom. And I think God's word, kind of, we always seek for justice. For example, Isaiah 1:17 says, "Learn to the right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take up the cause of fatherless, plead the case of the widow." And last 2 months, we interviewed together, and we were following what's happening in Iran. There is over 30,000 people, and we believe is over Iranian, over 50,000 Iranian innocent people. There is 200 children got killed in 2 days in Iran, and there is lots of widows, and there's sons, sisters, brothers got killed with this dictatorship because they protest and they seek freedom. And as a Christian, we have to stand. And in the center of my attention, and I think the biblical attention and also Jesus' attention, is people. And people is more important for us, and they how they live and how we can defend them. I'm glad that we can do this. And as Iranian, like, I born in 1979, Reg. I born and I saw the war, and we are not supporting war, but this is what people of Iran asked for President Trump for last few months. He said, and the help is on the way. President Trump says, and we want help because we can't stand. We don't have the guns, and people of Iran is desperate for help because this cruelness is very unique in the history of the world, and we know that we need help. And now President Trump help us, and as a pastor, I'm praying for peace in Iran. I'm praying for protection for our people, our families. And some people is just watching us that we dance because Ayatollah died or war. No, we dance because we have hope. And we have hope that this regime, after decades of dictatorship, is going out of Iran forever. And we are thankful for what's happening. And this is very unique season in our life as an Iranian diaspora and inside of Iran.
Well, my friend, let me ask you this. When it comes to other oppressed people groups around the world, I can name them all. It's not something that would be necessarily news to anybody, but there's lots of, I guess you could say, folks in the West that make a lot out of Group A, Group C, Group B. But it seems like there's this weird Western pushback, almost minimizing the struggle of the Iranian people, right? You see Persians in Berlin, in LA, dancing in celebration because they know what just happened in their country. But
Yes.
there's been this um, almost hard to contextualize pushback against the Iranian people among some of these Western minds. Why do you think all these oppressed groups are celebrated except the Persian people?
Um, we believe as an Iranian, this is propaganda of Iran, and Iran is the biggest supporter of terrorism, and like, Hezbollah and other Hamas and other terrorist group. And you know, sometimes people in reality they don't educate themselves. They follow what they told them to do. And as an Iranian, as I mentioned, like we lived in decades of the terrorism. We live in oppressed, and we live in the dictatorship, censorship, and we are for decades without any basic human rights. And this folks is standing in the streets of freedom, and standing in a country like United States and Europe, and they are saying so many things. And in last few days, I saw many Iranians, the diaspora, especially in Los Angeles that I live, they are more pro-American than people that they born here. The reason is because we live in a dictatorship. We value freedom, we value our voice, and we know this country gave us freedom, and we are thankful for that. There is many times, like I personally, I criticize because of the refugees and ICE raid and other stuff, but also I'm thankful that I'm able to speak. And these people that they are chanting like anti-war, chanting that, oh, why US attacked Iran, and opposite of what Iranian people wants. And I'm sure that not every Iranian wants the war or American help, but majority of Iranians, I think, what we are seeing in social media, they want help. And this people is born and raised here, and they don't leave what we lived in Iran. I lived in Iran. I saw persecution. I saw torture. I not I saw. I experienced all this. I experienced war. 8 years is terrible between Iran and Iraq. There's lots of trauma in the war, and then I escaped from Iran and came to the free country. And one of things that I'm telling to this anti-war people, and you never lived, and please understand Iranians. And one of my things is, where have you been when in 2 days, just in 2 days, Iranian regime killed and massacred over 30,000 Iranians, children? Where is the children? Like, we don't know who bombed the school in Minab in Iran. And now, right now, there is lots of meetings, there is lots of evidence that shows Iranian regime and government, they are meeting in the hospital, and they're using human shield to protect themselves. They don't care about human life. And I grew up in the war, Iran, Iraq. Like, Iraq bombed Iran randomly, but there is a target attack to all this regime places that they massacre Iran. And we are thankful for our army, and we are honoring our U.S. Army, and we are praying. This is what Iranians saying, and they're saying, don't talk about us because you never talk and you never
Mhm.
defend. And now you raise in the street and start chanting like anti-war. Where have you been? And now you're chanting about human rights and people in Iran when they killed many people and massacred. And this, like, I think Saturday, Sunday, we as Iranian in Los Angeles, we want to honor the fallen soldier in this war, because we love, as Iranian American, like, I love both country. I love Iran and I love America. God bless America and God bless Iran. And soon we can see free Iran, and then we can really enjoy our relationship with Israel, with Iran. And this is opportunity for Iranian. We see this opportunity. We don't basically care what this group of people, because they never live like Ara in Iran. They don't
Yeah.
understand what they're saying. And this is what we are thinking right now.
That's very insightful, my friend. Now, you are in constant contact with people all over Iran, specifically Christians. So, maybe in closing, and you can take this one of two ways. What are your Christian contacts, friends, family saying inside Iran, and or how should we, as Christians all over the world, how should we be praying for the church in Iran? Obviously, it's been documented that maybe perhaps the fastest growing church in the world is in Iran. There's a lot going on. People will talk about prophetic things. But what what is your message as an Iranian pastor from your Christian brothers and sisters in Iran right now?
Yeah. So at this like 4 days, again, there is no communication back in Iran because the internet got cut off completely. But the last time that I talked to family, friends, and also other, they are very hopeful, and they have a fear, and but we are praying for peace. We are praying to be able to see freedom. We are praying for a leader that allow us as a Christian to be there, exist over there, because we are already there, and they don't. In last decades, they close our churches, and now lots of Iranian that support King Reza Pahlavi to go in a this transitional part, and then we can go and vote for anybody that we think that is good for Iran. And I'm asking our Christians in the United States to pray for peace, to pray for strength for believers. There is over 252 people only in 2025 got arrested in Iran, and they're sentenced over 250 years in prison. And I'm praying for freedom of the prisoners, political, and also our Christians. And then we can enjoy our life and preach the gospel in freedom. And this is what, and also we can have some American ministry to come and visit beautiful Iran. Iran is beautiful, and I'm sure we will build again, and we make Iran great again.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, from your lips to God's ears, my friend, the idea of being able to, in theory, visit Iran soon would be wow. Can you imagine someone telling you that just a couple months ago? My friend, I appreciate you as always. I appreciate the gravity of the burden that you carry, and yet you're so willing to share and tell us exactly how it is. My friend, God bless, and thank you again for coming on.
God bless you, and God bless America. My pleasure.